What is going on, Ben Nation? Here we are. We had a little bit of a breakout. It didn't continue up as far as I'm sure you would hope, but 100% increase in a short period of time before settling at around 50%. That's not nothing. That's a pretty big move. I did expect a breakout, though. I did think that maybe the early vibes that we were getting on the chart were going to indicate that potential breakout was going to happen. We're going to look at that, and then you're going to see what's going on. Now, the broader market has been a little bit difficult right now, which is making the big move by BenCoin look even more difficult. And I think that might have a little bit to do with it. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button and the bell to be notified, and leave a comment on this video. It's very important to do that to push it up in the YouTube algorithm. And without further ado, let's get into it. So we had this, what I really thought was a wedge starting to break out. And the breakout was obviously somewhere in this range. And instead of that, we just got this sideways action. Now, that did correspond with the bearish divergence that was starting to play out. But this bearish divergence, what are we looking at here, really? You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking at a bearish divergence right in this range right here, that's like that was so small and so minor, because right here you had this playing out in the side. It didn't make very much sense. Maybe it's a little too aggressive when it's doing it, but the point being that this is not really breaking the way that I thought it was going to be. Now, that does not mean that we're not looking at some sort of potential breakout. Let's go look at what we're seeing still. We're going to move this right here. That's a decent enough spot and indicator. And then we're going to try to catch as much as we can on the action right here, which it does appear that we're still minting higher lows as we continue to move. It's very tough to make that argument. If I do the wick down here, this isn't hourly, but if I do the wick down here, then you're still seeing, and no matter how I push up, you have to honor and respect that little area right there, and at least most recent range. But if you look here a little more aggressive, are you seeing a breakdown? So I think we're going to stick right here. That seems to be playing out that way. Now, the rest of this, we'll have to move this over here and say that, maybe that looks a little bit, you could bring it out here and say that, this is kind of the area right there. So what we're looking at is we're looking at a pen flag kind of playing out right now. And when we have a wedge like this, they could break either direction. But as you can see from the chart, it's really ready to break, and it looks like it would be in a positive direction. We do have a short buy signal right here. And not shorting in futures, but we have an oversold buy signal seems to be popping up. That would indicate to me that the potential is there for a breakout. Now, is there a reason for a breakout? Well, this was the V2 anticipated launch right here, is going to be on October 31st. They're meeting with the development team today to finalize details. May keep one exchange listing for additional liquidity pending confirmation. Ooh, I hope it's everyone must move their tokens into a wallet and off exchanges. Self-custody for the win. And you should be doing that anyway, by the way, if you are not already. If you're holding tokens on a centralized exchange and you plan on it or intend to hold them for a long-term period in any way, buy your spot tokens and then move them into a DeFi wallet. Pay the gas fee. It's about $1 right now. Get them off of the exchange. Don't let the exchange hold it. Not your keys, not your crypto. Ambassadors are making video walkthroughs for anyone who doesn't know how, and V2 tokens will be claimed through a portal on the platform. They're going to swap V1 tokens for the V2s, and then more Ben content is going to be integrated into Ben's channel. More details on that coming very, very soon. But as you guys remember, J-Chain and AJ have been basically brought aboard the team to help and enhance content. And that's a significant development and a big thing, guys. A lot of influence going into BenCoin going forward. And in closing this out, security and safety, make sure that you're following at Join BenCoin because it does contain information that you might need. And finally, Ben's out here beating people up again. Just want to reiterate, my opponent is now what I refer to as an enemy, not my newfound friend enemies. I prefer stab you in the front, people. So this is, Ben, if you don't know, is training for a fight. That's going to be brought to you by George. And hey, man, we're all George, aren't we? And they're going to be, he's training right now with Crypto Keeper in order to get ready for this fight. And it's going to be sponsored by Karate Combat, and it's going to be put on by Cryptos R Us. So does that mean that that Ben's going to be in Chicago? I don't know, probably, but we'll find out. Cryptos R Us. George lives here. He's my neighbor somewhere here in Chicago. I've never met him, never seen him, don't know him. I know his name is George, but we're all George, right? Anyway, I'll have more information as this breaks out, and it's very cool stuff. We're finally seeing some real developments and some real movement in BenCoin, and it's only going to get better. This is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.